We have a new dimir commander. It's 2 mana cost, blue-black. Lazav, Wearer of Faces. I guess whenever they're making a new Ravnica set, we're gonna have a new Lazav. Or basically a new dual-colored commander for every color possibility. So this is a 2/3 legendary creature shapeshifter detective. Whenever Lazav, Wearer of Faces attacks, exile target card from a graveyard, then investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, you may have Lazav become a copy of a creature card exiled with it until end of turn. So he is a pseudo-reanimate commander. Or a better comparison, he is a body double variant. So body double is a 5 mana cost creature that comes into play as a copy of any creature card in your graveyard. And Lazav will basically be that in the command zone, but instead of paying 5, you pay 2 first, and then you crack a clue, and then he becomes a copy. But this is only until the end of turn. So if you're passing turn, he's going back to his 2/3 version. And you don't get the ETB effect, you just become the copy as a static effect that boom, suddenly he is this thing and he has already entered. So this won't synergize at all with something like a Dockside Extortionist, so to say. But it will work with something like razaketh. So get your big demon into your graveyard somehow and then use your commander to basically become that demon. That is more or less the best thing you can do with this as the commander, basically making him into a reanimate version, a body double version for your razaketh, and then you attempt to win on that specific turn. But once again, like, it's not that fast, because you have to like get your razaketh in your graveyard, you have to cast your commander, and then you actually have to attack. And then you can exile razaketh from your graveyard, and then you can make him into a copy. So in the end, there's like a lot of hoops here. And to set this up, it's kinda gimmicky. But you can still play the normal Reanimator strategy with Reanimate, Animate Dead, and Necromancy and such, and just try to entomb your razaketh or your big Reanimator target, and then try to reanimate it the normal way. And if that doesn't work, then you have access to another Reanimator effect in the command zone, as like a plan B reanimation backup. This also means that if you're playing a Reanimator strategy in general, and you have a bunch of Reanimator ways already, you could have him inside your deck as a pseudo value engine in the 99, and also a pseudo Reanimator effect inside the 99. So if you're already playing a Reanimator deck of razaketh target of such, and you want to increase your value engine capacity, you want to play a little bit more mid-range, and you want to increase your combo potential, your combo consistency, by increasing more reanimation effects, then this is a honestly good consideration. Reanimating razaketh and things like that has kind of fallen off a tiny bit, so this could be a small boost of potentially increasing that capacity. Because of this, I think we should talk a little bit about other options you can do here. Because there are other commanders with big maybe could include this. To give you a simple example, Nayela the Blade Blossom and Darevi. Let's say Darevi goes to grave, use this to become a secondary Darevi, and boom, you can combo off and win again. This is something you can do, but just because you could doesn't mean you should. I think Nayela is playing a pretty good game without trying to reanimate Darevi. But if you're looking to increase like value engines inside Nayela, and you're looking to increase like rebuild capacity, like trying to regain Darevi because Darevi is being killed in all of your games, then this is an option. cEDH is another consideration here. cEDH has a bunch of various combo creatures that are worthy to try and rebuild. So for example, Emil the Blessed gets killed, this can become a copy of Emil the Blessed. If Darevi in cEDH gets killed, this can become a copy of Darevi. If Kinnan is being killed, this can become a copy of Kinnan. And cEDH can like tutor for this thing. This is also gonna boost cEDH's power attack a tiny bit. And you can use this to basically create clues that you can sacrifice to draw cards in general. For example, I really like how this card is a arm Swiss knife that has a lot of different things going for it. It is not just one thing only, it's only reanimating creatures, it's also drawing you cards, and also it is removing people's graveyards as well. Now on paper, this is trying to remove cards from an opponent's graveyard, like you can sit and remove creature cards in their graveyards here and there, but that isn't that good. Now it's not that bad either, but this is definitely not a Daffy Voidwalker. And I wouldn't view this like a graveyard interaction card. Now, decreasing the graveyard a tiny bit is still kinda good, because when people are going for their Underworld Breach combo, if you have actually removed a few cards from their graveyard, then it's going to be harder for your opponents to assemble a Underworld Breach combo if they just have less cards to utilize in their grave. As a finalized review, I do think this is a card that you could play. Like, it's not a bad card and it's never really going to be a dead card. It's just that it's currently competing against a really big power creep. But I truly can see this entering into various 99s here and there where it actually makes sense. Where you're looking for a rebuild capacity, but also looking for a card draw capacity. So I could really see this in some CC builds here and there, maybe. As a commander, yes, it will work. You can make a copy or reanimate in this view a razaketh or reanimate a Villis, so to say. Or not really reanimate, you become a copy of them, but still the same thing. So here comes the $1 million question. Would I personally play this? Big no. As I'm making card reviews, I think it's important to just give you some things you can touch to get an understanding of how good I think the card is. I can truly see that some people might play this, but I wouldn't personally, because of the very simple reason that it's a little bit gimmicky, it's a little bit slow, and I think in the end, power creep wise, we have better cards than this. If you want to rebuild your combo, you have better options. If you want to draw cards, you have better options. And I don't think this is a dimir commander I would personally enjoy that much. But I absolutely could see people including this inside their 99s here and there. What do you think? If you have any ideas of what you're going to do with this card, leave a comment below. As for me, I'm not touching this!